Welcome back to AfriFreedom Channel, your trusted voice on global political realities and uncensored truth. If you're new here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more eye-opening content like this one. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a crucial update. Most importantly, we invite you to engage with us. Drop your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. We read them, we value them, and they shape the conversations we bring to the forefront. The views expressed in this video are for informational and analytical purposes only. We do not endorse hate speech, incitement to violence, or racial prejudice of any kind. All content is based on publicly available information and is intended to spark meaningful and respectful discussion on real-world issues affecting communities globally. In a bold and unprecedented diplomatic moment, former U.S. President Donald Trump reportedly confronted South African President Cyril Ramaphosa with video footage allegedly showing South Africans chanting for the extermination of white Afrikaners.
Turn the lights down, and just put this on. It's right behind you.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. South Africa occupy land. That's who we are. Can we withdraw my membership from this useless parliament? Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill. Namaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer.
Is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They feel a terrible pain because you have touched a white man. Not because Mashaba and Suri will not be touched. They will be touched, no one. But we are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness.
Shoot to kill. Namaza. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Shoot to kill. Namaza. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Kill the brewer, the farmer.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm saying to you, was not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't ever see the future.
Yeah, but, I mean, you understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter, they freak out. It sounds like a genocide.
I can't take it.
Who will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they object, they can seek refugee in America.
Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road, you have crosses.
Orchestrated for political effect or born out of a genuine concern for human rights, this action sent shockwaves through international diplomatic circles. But here's the deeper question: shouldn't all global leaders be expected to confront uncomfortable truths, especially when lives are at stake?
What on earth did you make to that, Ben
Well, I
Habib?
thought it was an extraordinary meeting between two presidents taking place in front of the media. At one point, I think Ramaphosa even said, can we take this outside the media realm? You know, can we have a chat?
It's incredible.
Privately. But I have to applaud. I'm going to applaud both gentlemen, actually. I don't know what the crimes are, if any, that Ramaphosa himself personally has committed that Trump may have had in mind. But I have to commend President Trump for sitting there and actually calling out precisely what, in his mind, is taking place in South Africa, and pulling no punches and doing it completely transparently, showing the film, challenging Ramaphosa without any fear or favour. I think it's high time that Western countries actually had the preparedness to have these conversations and not hide behind sort of false diplomacy in the fear of calling out atrocities. So I applaud President Trump there. And I thought Ramaphosa was going to have a complete meltdown. But the reason I applaud him is the manner in which he conducted himself after that. He was clearly shocked, surprised, but then he gathered himself. And instead of doing what Zelensky did, which was to hit back and create a diplomatic incident, he was conciliatory. And he may not have admitted the genocidal allegations being made, but he was conciliatory. He talked about the importance of the United States being engaged on the world stage, the importance of the United States having created the G20, that he welcomed the United States coming back and, to taking the leadership of the G20. And actually, so I think that press conference, if I can call it a press conference, went very well from the American perspective. And Ramaphosa would have walked out there without having fallen out with the United States, without South Africa having fallen out with the United States, of which there was a very high risk at any point in time in that meeting. So I think it was a terrific thing to do. And the last thing I'll just quickly say before finishing is that, of course, South Africa is the country that brought a case against Israel for genocide in the International Court of Justice against Israel, claiming that Israel is guilty of genocidal acts in Gaza. So I think it is really important that Trump held them to task.
What happens when performative diplomacy is replaced with unfiltered reality? Do you think this level of accountability is the kind of leadership the world desperately needs, or was it a dangerous deviation from protocol? Some argue that whether you classify it as a genocide or not, the systematic murder of white farmers in South Africa is a tragic and undeniable reality. Statistics from civil rights organizations and farming unions consistently point to targeted violence against white agricultural communities, a topic many mainstream outlets seem hesitant to cover. And this raises a painful question: how many lives must be lost before the world finds the moral courage to name the crisis for what it is? Is it enough to argue semantics while communities bury their loved ones and live in fear? Why is the global media eerily silent when it comes to these brutal farm killings? President Trump's choice to present this video footage wasn't just an act of confrontation, it was, according to many observers, a high-stakes display of what some are calling truth diplomacy. He forced a sitting president to face international scrutiny, unfiltered and on record. This wasn't politics as usual. It was a calculated risk that bypassed the traditional red tape of diplomatic dialogue. Now ask yourself this: shouldn't political leaders always be held to account in real time, without the shelter of media narratives and diplomatic immunity? Does this set a new precedent for how world leaders should engage each other on matters of human rights, or was it an inappropriate breach of international etiquette? To many, this moment marked the beginning of the end for what some call fake diplomacy, the performative politeness that often masks real issues under scripted niceties. Trump's move peeled back the curtain, showing the world that uncomfortable conversations are sometimes necessary for real progress. But here's the challenge to you, the viewer: do we, as global citizens, demand enough truth from our leaders? Are we complicit in allowing violence to be sanitized for the sake of international optics? If leaders don't confront each other with raw facts, who will hold anyone accountable?
Whether you call it a genocide or not, the facts are white farmers in South Africa have been murdered. A lot of people have tried to cover this up. A lot of people in, I think, media in the United States have tried to cover it up. Obviously, the South African government doesn't want to talk about it, so it was kind of a boss move for Donald Trump to roll that television in there today. And I think even the agriculture minister in the Oval Office confirmed that these people are, in fact, being murdered. So my question is, if it's not a genocide today, how many do we want to let get murdered so that people around here can be satisfied? Okay, now it's a genocide. Let's let a few more. I don't understand. We're talking about 50-something people they were trying to let in, and everybody's losing their mind after we let in 20 million illegal immigrants over the last several years. The president is trying to prevent genocide from happening any further to these people. They are clearly being discriminated against. Some have been murdered. This was an interesting spectacle in the Oval Office today, but it had to happen because I don't think anybody was telling the truth about it.
This moment is more than a news flash. It's a mirror held up to global society, reflecting our collective hesitation to name hard truths and confront injustices, no matter who they affect. Whether you support Trump or not, the message is clear: silence is no longer an option when lives are on the line. Thank you for tuning into AfriFreedom Channel. We are committed to exposing the unspoken, questioning the mainstream, and giving voice to those left unheard. If this content made you think, then make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and drop your thought-provoking yet respectful comments below. Tell us, do you believe this was a turning point in international diplomacy, or just another political stunt? Was Trump right to take that bold step, or did he cross a line? This is just the beginning. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, stay aware, stay vocal, and stay free. AfriFreedom Channel, your voice. Your freedom. Your future.